ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is Zay here with Chris. So we're going to give you our review of Challengers. Let's start off with the stuff that we did like about the film. I'm going to have you go first.
I love the gays. And I knew from the moment when I first told him, and we first saw the trailer, I said, they're gonna be gay.
So storyline and plot-wise, this was built around tennis. Tashi's like a tennis star. Mike is also, all of them are tennis players, but Tashi in the beginning is pretty much a prodigy. She's a famous tennis girl, and she has these two guys who are kind of fawning over her. And the night that is pretty much like, now it's kind of like an iconic scene from the trailer because, you know, the three of them all in the hotel room, like making out and kissing and whatnot. Of course, that's the scene where we end up finding out, you know, where she leans back is actually her watching them kiss each other after the three of them are making out with one another, which kind of hints a little bit at the, you know, what Chris was saying with like
the close
relationship that Mike and Josh have. But how do we feel about the story in general?
It was great.
I thought the story was actually pretty good.
Everyone held their own. Everyone had good character development. But, you know, they were saying Zendaya on the press tour was basically saying that Art wasn't this sweet guy, but really Tashi and Patrick really are the most immature. And I don't know why she was saying it. Probably to make her sound like such a skank because she was in the movie. But ultimately, I have a soft spot for Art. He got hoed the most to me. He just liked a girl and got hoed. But you know, at the end, everything does resolve.
Did he really? He's rich, you know. He's rich.
But it's all under a lie.
That is true.
Yeah, it's all under a lie.
True. I would say that. I would
not
say
his talent, but definitely his
wife,
friend.
lifestyle. You know, professionally, he is a great tennis player. Speaking of tennis, this is now our second tennis movie that we've watched. The first one was King Richard with Will Smith. We're not going to go any farther than that, but just know if that movie wasn't made, we wouldn't have the iconic Oscars moment. But anyways, this movie definitely did make tennis seem way more like exciting. I was definitely engaged with it.
I've always enjoyed watching tennis.
Yeah.
I always thought it was very I always find it to be very difficult because I've tried to play tennis before when I was younger and I thought it was the hardest thing ever. To have like your dexterity and as well as your hand-eye coordination, it's a lot harder. And obviously to have good stamina, you need to have them strong knees. Tashi did not.
Them strong knees, yeah. She most certainly did not. I mean, I would probably say like the sport itself looked exciting. It's not like we really learned a lot about like the intricacies of the sport. This was definitely
They did really good. Applaud the director. They did really good in terms of the different time skips they had, the time lapses. Because we're in 3 different timelines, but they do a good job at showing us exactly where it is, but it's not too much jumping back and forth to where it's like, I'm lost now, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I never felt lost in the movie. I think the pacing was good. For a 2-hour movie, it didn't feel too weighted. Like it felt, you know, it definitely felt a little bit like, okay, this is going on 2 hours, but I personally didn't have any moments in the movie when I was like, this is dragging a lot, this is really boring. Like a lot of it really was putting itself together for, in my opinion, a really well-deserved third act. I really liked the third act. I liked pretty much from the sauna room on. I really liked that when they were both in the sauna room and then they came out and they were preparing for the very last set together.
Yeah.
I really liked that. I felt like it built itself up well for what we were wanting, which was the turmoil, the drama. If you like
drama, romance, it's
sport,
thrilling too.
Like, you know, the demise of people, you know, I mean, I think Josh did a great job at showing you, oh, when you're down on your luck, you're living out of your car. But he embraced who he was as a person. I did like that about Josh's character as Patrick. You can tell that even though he was like, I'm an asshole, I'm a piece of shit, but I can embrace that. I do use women on dates for places to stay. It's crazy that he just openly said it. I need the place to stay. Oh, I'm still staying with her, you know, and he's getting wagged on by Tashi for it. But Tashi, look at you.
Yeah.
What's Tashi doing, you know? But let's get into this, right? So, how do we feel about Miss Zendaya's performance? This is your first major motion picture that you've seen her in that where she talks. We're not going to count Malcolm and Marie. We're not gonna count that because she wasn't talking in it. But this is her kind of like her breakout role, kind of letting people know. I mean, she had Euphoria, but you didn't watch Euphoria. But how'd you feel about her in this?
I thought she did pretty good. I think she can play a good toxic young lady. Yeah, competitor.
Crazy almost, like possessed at some points, I would say. I think she's good at being a fierce competitor, and she can really deliver some strong lines. And I think that her facial expressions are also very strong too. You know, when she wants to look mad or she wants to look pissed, it's good. But I really think her chemistry with Patrick was really good. I really did like Tashi and Patrick's relationship, their dynamic. I think it, like, from the moment that they first fought to why they're separated to not just spending time away from each other, but how that was making them feel, to challenging one another. And I think the title is very appropriate. I like that they set that out in the beginning. You know, Art needs to battle at this Challengers, and he views it as this, oh, I don't even need to be here. I'm just here because I have to be. You know, even though for Patrick, it's like, this is my life. This is how I got. Like I said, I really did like that scene because you're both even at that point, in my opinion. It doesn't matter who's the higher ranked tennis player or anything. You're both fighting. The first time you were fighting for her. This time at the ending, it felt like you were fighting for each other. But
and maybe that was something in correlation to the whole story, because he did win when it came to her, but when it came to actually like doing the sport, Art won.
Yeah, like I said,
I know there's controversy on the end because people are saying that Art didn't win, but they clearly announced his name at the end to win.
I'd say Art won.
But people were obviously saying like it doesn't even matter who won or not, because ultimately Tashi got to see really good tennis, and then the boys got each other back, and that's all really Patrick wanted. That's why he let him know, like, your wife is, you know, she's for the streets, my guy.
For the
like,
streets.
We don't. But
I gotta give you back.
And also, if you truly want to win this game, you need to win it for yourself, not for Tashi, because Tashi doesn't want you.
Exactly, a lot of good themes in here. How far will a person go when they've lost what they're really passionate about, to feel that feeling of being passionate about it again, vicariously living through someone else? I think that was a really good,
which is something that they usually only show with like moms doing it through their daughters or dads doing it through their sons. This was a wife.
This was like a toxic girlfriend who's like, her career, by the way, that scene of her knees buckling or whatever happened to it, they didn't really say her injury, but it's career threatening, but that was a tough watch. But after that, I really think Zendaya stepped it up in acting of, oh, you don't get it. I think it was a scene of her at the diner with Mike or with Art right before she became his coach, and she said, oh, you know, like, would you think I was gonna kill myself or something if I couldn't play tennis? And it's so funny because we were just sitting there like, yeah, why wouldn't we? Just like he said it, why wouldn't we? You're super passionate about this, like as I was telling her, like a Tom Brady or like a LeBron or a Kobe. It is this.
LeBron said it's just basketball. So
that is true. I mean, let me take out LeBron. Let me eliminate it. Let me take out LeBron, but it is just basketball for him. But like a Kobe or a Tom mentality, like, it's funny. It's funny to see her embody that. So, you know, from the moment we saw the trailer, I was intrigued with it. We had our thoughts about it. We know that it's had its own sort of not really controversies, but it gets a lot of opinions because Zendaya gets a lot of attention when she's in the press. But I will say this, it's not like she stole the show. I think that Zendaya, Mike, and Josh all showed up, and they really did perform. It didn't seem like anybody had more screen time than the other because of their, you know, what projects they did before. Like, if you never knew who these people were, you would walk out of this thinking they were all great actors. Hope to see them in some great other stuff again. But let's get on to the rating for it. Like I said, we're a little bit late when it comes to this film, but what do we end up giving this movie?
A for ass.
Let's try that again. My bad. I fucked that up. 3, 2, 1.
A for art.
We gave it an A for art. Yeah, but no, seriously, really great movie.
It was good. I definitely had my different opinions on it because I was like, oh, I don't know what it's gonna be. Because like I said, I knew I was gonna get my gay lovers.
And neither did I. I had no idea. And that's another thing. If you don't know what it is, first of all, if you don't know what the movie is going into, don't watch these reviews because we're gonna spoil stuff. Please, that's you come to the channel after you're done, you know. But yeah. So before we wrap this up, do you have a favorite scene? I know you're probably gonna say when they were making out, but besides that, oh wow, hey, you started off with the gays, so I assume the scene was that. But do you have a scene
my favorite scene is whenever Patrick showed Art, like, your wife, like, it relates it back to the beginning, like. Your wife fucked me last night, and you're gonna fucking win this for
the caddy calling him daddy. That's insane.
Yep. So that's
Yeah.
why I liked that, because he was just, because like I said, it just signified to Art, you need to do this for yourself. You need to stop trying to do it for her. You need to stop trying to do everything for her. That's the only reason why you're playing tennis. You're going to win this, and you're going to win it on your own accord and because you want to.
Yep. What
Not
do you
because of
want?
Tashi.
Don't win for other people. Win for yourself. In most cases. My favorite scene, now that I look back at it because the whole movie's playing through my head, I really do like the scene where where it's Tashi. It's pretty much Tashi and Art's last scene together. They're in the room before he falls asleep, before that night that she goes out to go sleep with Patrick.
Again.
And she tells him, he tells her, I just think it was. Yeah, it's tough. I kind of got a 1A and 1B. I do really like Patrick's scene when they were outside and he was smoking and he was telling her, I want you to be my coach, and he was telling her what's gonna happen with Art because it led into Art revealing everything that Patrick already knew about him, and that tells you how well he still knows him after all these years. Patrick told her he's retired, he doesn't want to do this anymore, and you're gonna get tired of playing with him. I'm tired of playing with you, kind of like a toy. That's how she kind of treats them. So I like that Art himself he stood on his own ground, and she told him, oh, you don't need my permission to retire, but you kind of do, because what did she tell him afterwards? He asked her, what's going to happen if I lose, and she told him the truth, which was,
I'm going to leave you.
That's crazy. And then he's like, yeah, just fall asleep with me tonight. And that's the last time we saw them together on the screen, because they were playing tennis for the next 10 minutes. But anyways, great film, gets an A. We look forward to seeing all these actors in future projects.
It's definitely worth a watch.
Definitely worth a watch. We definitely.
And then you can kind of, this is one of those movies where you can kind of formulate your own opinions on how everyone is. Everyone will have different opinions on how Art is, how Patrick is, how Tashi is. You can all see them as passionate characters. You can see them all as toxic characters. You can all see them as horny characters. But they all do have such great chemistry together on camera and even in their off-screen interviews. It is amazing. Yeah, A for amazing in Art.
Yeah, and then quick shout out. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to the as we've seen him in the Spider-Man movies when he's like, MJ, are you gonna have Peter Spider babies? He was in this one. I thought he was very good. In this one as I don't know what it's called, not umpire, the ref for tennis. I'm sorry, we're not tennis inclined. I'm sorry. I will put the definition of what his position was and who he was here, so I do apologize. But I think he was pretty funny when he came to violation. Don't be yelling that. It does remind you in tennis you can't be yelling and screaming fuck and damn it and talking trash and hitting the racket on the ground. Everybody who was making fun of Serena Williams for crashing her racket on the floor, you're stupid. Because everyone does it. So I still to this day don't understand.
And there is not one sex scene in here, guys. Believe it or not.
That's good. That's another good thing. Don't if you're coming into this thinking it's a Euphoria, it's not. It's not like that. Don't think that they're throwing tits around and all that stuff. Like I said, come for the good story. And
hey, but we did get a season day as tits.
Okay.
We're gonna see.
You are just infatuated with the thought of seeing these women's tits.
No, but we did see her tits.
Just know it's Chris.
Just not full blown. Not full blown.
Not full blown.
But we saw her areolas.
Okay, and we're gonna wrap it there, ladies and gentlemen. As always,
definitely worth a watch.
Yes, as always, make sure to tune in, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you guys later.